Okay, so today I want to talk about how we're going to read the genre of literature known as the wisdom books. These would include the book of Proverbs, the book of Job, as well as Ecclesiastes. And so the obvious point when it comes to reading these books is to navigate God's world with wisdom. If you and I are to be the product of our choices, how best can we make life's choices? So, let's talk about how we can read these books so that we can grow in wisdom in our lives. And to do that, let's start off with the book of Proverbs. A proverb is a short, clever saying designed to convey practical wisdom. Let me give you a modern example of a proverb. You may have heard the saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And so here's the point. When you love someone and they're going away for a while, you can say this proverb to yourself so that when you miss them, you're also reminded of your love for them. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions regarding the book of Proverbs is that this is a book of proverbs, not promises. These proverbs are what is generally true in God's world in most normal circumstances, the way God has set things up to work, but they are not guarantees or formulas for success. Let me give you an example. Proverbs 10 verses 27 says, "The fear of the Lord adds length to life, but the years of the wicked are cut short." So what this means is, generally speaking, if you follow the Lord with wisdom, it will lead to a full, healthy life. But if you reject the Lord and make a bunch of foolish decisions, you're going to have to deal with some of those consequences. Having said that, we all know believers who love the Lord who died way too young. And we also know of unrighteous people who died old and wealthy and happy. And so this is reinforcing what is generally true, but not meant to be taken as a promise. Another way we know that proverbs aren't meant to be promises is how some directly contradict each other. So, to go back to the modern day proverb of absence makes the heart grow fonder, we also have a competing proverb which says, out of sight, out of mind. So, when your spouse is away, which is it? Is your heart growing fonder for them? Or is it a case of out of sight, out of mind? Be careful how you answer that one. And so we saw these verses at the launch evening, but here are two proverbs that literally come after each other, that contradict each other. Proverbs 26 verse 4 says, "Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you'll be like him yourself." While the very next verse says, "Answer a fool according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes." So, which is it? Well, here's the point. It takes wisdom to know when to confront a fool and when not to. So these are wisdom, not promises. So the book of Proverbs focuses on what is generally true, but doesn't really focus on the exceptions, which is why we also need the other two books, which really explore the exceptions of life. And so the book of Job is all about, what if I do live a righteous life and love God and do everything right and things still go horribly wrong? Ever asked that question? And then the book of Ecclesiastes explores in a very philosophical, cynical way what life is like without God and without eternal life, also touching on why it is that often the righteous still seem to suffer and the wicked seem to win. So put together, the book of Proverbs as well as Job and Ecclesiastes, we have some great wisdom for many of life's situations. The final thing though I want to say about wisdom is that by definition, this is wisdom. Therefore, these books aren't always about looking for quick, easy answers. Here's my problem, Google the book of Proverbs, there's my answer, done. No, there is no verse and chapter for some of your life situations. So by internalizing God's wisdom, by meditating on it and doing that again, the idea is less about a quick, easy answer for life, but more about becoming a person of wisdom. In other words, God's wisdom is formative. It is about who you are becoming, making wise decisions in God's world.